Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I am Casey, and today these are the bracelets that I will be making using the Treasure Edition from Potomac Beads. And I will also be reviewing the 3 patterns that came in the Kit Edition for the month of February 2024. And if you are interested in the bead boxes from Potomac Beads, either the Treasure Edition or the Kit Edition, or like me, you're interested in both, I will have all the information in the description box below. You definitely want to go check them out. Not only do they have amazing bead boxes, they also have a fantastic website that has just about anything you can imagine from the jewelry making hobby. And while I'm highlighting the Potomac bead boxes for this video, I also want to highlight Beebeecraft.com. And in this particular video, you'll see I use these 4mm pearls here. I absolutely love them. I will link the opening video I did for my order in the description box below. I also think you should go check out Beebeecraft.com. They as well have just an amazing selection for the jewelry making hobby. And when you go check them out, you want to use my code. That code is KC10. That's KASI10, and that code will get you 10% off your entire order from Beebeecraft.com. So if you would like to see how these bracelets came about or what my opinion is on the 3 patterns for this month, then stay tuned. I'm going to start with the tools that I will be using. I have 2 sets of chain nose pliers, 1 set of cutters, and 1 set of crimping pliers. And I want to briefly mention my tool set. It is the Casual Comfort tool set. And as the name suggests, this is the most comfortable tool set that I have found. It is very high quality, very well made. And the biggest thing for me is the size, and I truly believe that that is what leads to the comfort. They just seem to be made for adult size hands. A lot of times jewelry making tools will be made quite a bit smaller like this. And you can see the handles on these are quite a bit larger as well. So I will have this tool set linked below along with everything else I used in the video that did not come from the bead box. I am also using 49 strand bead along wire in the color Bright. And that is this silver color. And I usually get the 100 feet just because I go through it so quickly. I have already cut a length of wire. It is just over 12 inches. And I will link down below the opening video I did for the Potomac Beads Treasure Edition. And it will have a detailed description of everything that came from the box. For my own stash, I'm going to be using the Findings. And I will also be using this butterfly toggle clasp. If you see on the bar here, it has this kind of vine with flowers. It's really, really cool. And from my Beebeecraft order, I am using these 4mm pearls. I absolutely love these 4mm pearls. They come in so many different colors, and typically I use them as colorful spacer beads. These are absolutely amazing. So here is how I start the strand. I'm going to put on a jump ring, a crimp tube, and a wire guardian. I'm going to wrap it around and put it through the other side. And I want to make sure that jump ring is up in that wire guardian, and I'm going to pinch it closed with my fingers. Then I want both ends of the wire through that crimp tube. I'm going to pull on the longer end. Don't want the tail quite that long. And now I'm going to separate these wires. I know the parts are small, but you want that wire not to cross underneath that crimp tube. I'll go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot, give it a good smash, get that taco shape, turn it on its side, go into that first divot, give it another good smash. Then I'm going to go with that flat part at the end, give it the final smash, and that makes it nice and snug. And I'm going to hold the end like this with the jump ring up there, and take a crimp cover and put it right on top of that smash crimp tube. And then flip it up. I'm going to go in with my chain nose pliers and give it a gentle smash. Then go front to back on that crimp cover. Very gently give it that round shape, just like that. And that is how I start each strand. So now it is just the order of the beads. And here is the first set of beads. I am using 2 of these beautiful flower beads along with several of these 4mm pearls. As I said, I use them as colorful spacer beads. They really set off the piece and they are a great accent bead or colorful spacer bead. I just love these pearls. So I'm going to pull everything down and I'm going to put that tail into the first couple of beads. Just like that. So now I'm going to add my first large flower bead, and you can see those 4mm pearls almost match it exactly. That's one good thing about the color variety they have with these pearls, is you can almost always either find a color that matches exactly or is a really nice accent color as a colorful spacer bead. So these really turned out nice. And when I put this on, I want the top of the flower just like that, facing in. And this is one side. Now we'll have the center component. So just like that, the center component is simply 2 of those 4mm pearls and another one of the flower beads. So now we're going to put this exact order that we have on this side on this side. So there we have all of the beads on the bracelet, and I just think this order is very, very pretty. This turned out so nice. So now we have to close it off. Going to put on a jump ring, a crimp tube, and a wire guardian. I'm going to put it through one side, wrap it around, put it through the other, and you want that jump ring up in the wire guardian, and I'm going to pinch it closed with my fingers and both end of the wires through that crimp tube. And now I'm going to go ahead and put that tail through the first couple of beads, just like that, then pull it down. And here's where you have to have that balance, because you want to pull it really snug, but you don't want it to be too snug. You want your bracelet to have some flexibility, but you don't want any gaps in between the beads. So you're looking for that balance. And now I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot. Give it a good smash. Get that taco shape, turn it on its side. Go into the first divot, give it another smash. And then I'm going to go with that flat part at the end and give it the final smash. And that gets it nice and snug. And now I'm going to go with my crimp cover and put it right over that smash crimp tube and flip it up. Going to go in with my chain nose pliers onto that crimp cover, give it a gentle smash. And now I know it's hard to see, but I'm going to go front to back on that crimp cover. That way it has that round shape, just like that. Now I'm going to take that tail, get as close as I can, and now I go in there and just kind of push that nub into the next bead, just like that. So here is the bracelet. Now we need to put on the clasp, and I'm going to use the jump ring that's on it. I'm going to open it, put on one end of the clasp, close it, and put on the other end the same way. Just like that. And there we have it. You can see these beautiful flower beads are so much the focal. Of course, those pearls just feed right off of it as that accent color. That's so pretty. Clasp on the back. I love it when clasps are part of the design. Sometimes clasp can just be functional, but I really love it when they stand out like this. Very nice. So here's the one we just made, and I made several others with the beads from this month's treasure edition. Here is the next one, and I really love these star beads. I just thought they were so cute. They go really well with these round glass red beads. And I used a magnet clasp on this one. And you can see the same technique was used to start and stop the bracelet. I just used a magnet clasp instead of a toggle. And here is another one. And these are the pearls that came in the treasure edition. Thought they were absolutely beautiful. I just added my own bead caps to the end. Again, I used a magnet clasp, same technique. And here is the last one that I made. I really love these flower beads. That copper wash is just so pretty. And of course, these gemstones came in the treasure edition. I added my own bead caps. And on this one, I used another one of the toggle clasps that I have. And of course, same technique to start and stop the bracelet. Here are all the bracelets that I made from the Treasure Edition. Now I'm going to review all of the patterns from the Kit Edition. I'm going to review them in the order that I put them together. So the first one here is the Ladder Stitch Crystal Staircase. And here is mine. I will say that the actual stitching of this bracelet was very simple. It was very repetitive. It was not complicated. All of the instructions that were here in this pattern was all that I needed. This was very descriptive, and I really love the way this bracelet turned out. It's very, very pretty. I did make one change. The pattern called for kind of a stitched button, and I used a magnet clasp instead. I used one of my rhinestone magnet clasp because I thought this bracelet was a little bit more dressed up, so I wanted the clasp to just have a little bit more to it, and I thought this one looked really nice with this bracelet. I did make the button. It had all of the parts and the directions here in the pattern on how to make the button. I just preferred different types of clasps, like the magnet clasp I used here, or toggle clasp, or even lobster clasp. I am not particularly a fan of button clasps for bracelets, but I did make it, and I will say the instructions to make this was a very simple peyote stitch, and if you are somebody who prefers these button type closures, this was super simple, and I do think it's very pretty. And that is one thing that is really awesome about the Potomac patterns. They make it very simple to kind of put your own touch on it if you want to. And if you watch the video versions of their patterns, they also give you other suggestions of things that you could do. So I really enjoy that about their patterns. So here is the first one, on to the next one. The next one I made is the Cascading Bezeled Rivoli Purse Fob. And here is mine. I think mine turned out pretty close, pretty accurate to what it is here. And what I really didn't see in the picture was that this back part here is just kind of a flat piece that just sticks out from the front. It's hard to see that in that picture, but I really like that. That's what the back looks like. I really love this infinity lobster clasp. And this one I also found was pretty simple, a little bit more difficult than the last one. I did use the video version for this one. And again, I just love that they have the video version. I'm a visual learner, so sometimes it is easier for me if I see it and I can follow it a little bit better than sometimes if I'm just reading it. But overall, I would say this was super creative. I really, really like it. I do like the colors, and I love the way that it turned out. The last one that I made was the Aster Flower Herringbone Post. And here they are. I will say this one was by far the most difficult one out of the three for this month. And I went ahead and put it on the back of one of my earring cards, and I'll show you why here in a second. I'll take this off. So first thing about it is I just think they turned out beautifully. I absolutely love this pattern. I think it is very creative. The colors go so well. It very much has the element of a real flower, which I just love. I love the creativity in that. There are a few things that kind of stood out for me. The petals in the back are very loose, and I feel like when I was sewing this together, I pulled it pretty snug, and when I looked at the video version of it as well, the one in the video was the same way. These petals were just kind of loose, and they fall back just like this, very simply, and there was really no way to make it snug where it would just stay pointing out like that. And if it's upright like this, like you would wear it on your ear, then the top ones start to fall. And I don't know, that was just one thing. And the back was another thing. The way the post is put on is just by all of this exposed thread. And I mean, this is a minor detail, obviously, when you're wearing it, that none of that is going to be visible. So it's perfectly hidden. But I thought that was interesting that the way they put that on was several different pieces of exposed thread like that. But other than those two minor things, I think these are absolutely beautiful and very creative. And these petals here that are on the seed beads, the color gradient I think that was chosen is just perfect. And I absolutely think that turned out beautifully. But I do certainly think for this month, this particular pattern was the most difficult. I wouldn't say it was, particularly difficult, but of the three, it was the most. And I certainly needed the video version to help me out a little bit with this one. All right, so that's the third pattern. I'm going to try to get everything here on the screen. All right, so here they are. Here is all of the patterns together, and of course the 4 bracelets here that I made using the Treasure Edition. I have to say, if you are on the fence about trying the Potomac bead boxes, I just highly recommend you give it a shot. Whether you're interested in just the Treasure Edition or the Kit Edition, or like me, you're interested in both, I just think it's worth a try. I really like that I get to try things that might be out of my comfort zone, things that I never would have thought of to make, and it helps me get ideas of other things that I could make. I just really recommend trying it out, and I will have all the information in the description box below. Not only do they have amazing bead boxes, they also have a fantastic website that has just about anything you can imagine for the jewelry making hobby. And I also want to mention, of course, Beebeecraft.com and the pearls that I used in the bracelet that I made in the video. I absolutely love the 4mm pearls that I got from Beebeecraft.com. I always order from them with such confidence, and then when I add them to my pieces, just like this one, they always turn out just so pretty, and I am just so happy with it. And I will link below all the information I have for Beebeecraft and my order, including the opening video that I did. And I absolutely encourage you to go check them out as well. And when you do, you want to use my code. And that code is KASI10. That's KASI10. And that code will get you 10% off your entire order from Beebeecraft.com. So if you like this video and you want to see other videos just like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I absolutely love reading my comments. You guys are so, so kind, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.